Melbourne Aquarium. And today we are joined right here at the aquarium with our lead diver Jessie and someone from our education department as well. We've got Erin who will be joining us on the live as well. Now before we get started, just a reminder, you can ask any questions during our live and we'll try and get through as many as we can. Now without further ado, I'd better hand it over to Erin, who is wearing a very cool hat. Hi Erin.
Hi Lisa. Thanks Lisa, and folks, do you like my hat? Would you like one? I am very fashionable for this live feed, but really today, the star of the show is Jessie. Jessie, how are you doing?
Hey guys.
Jessie is our lead diver here. He has probably one of the most spectacular jobs here at the aquarium. I mean, a lot of people might say that, but I think you've got a really interesting job. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, as lead diver, it is part of my job to ensure the welfare of the animals we do have in our care. Variety of different things that involve feeding the fish, doing catch outs, doing routine health checks with our resident vet, and even jumping inside the tanks and giving them a good clean.
Fantastic. So who are we diving with today? I can see a lot of things swimming around you. Who is that?
Yeah, so currently we're in the Bay of Rays. We do have fiddler rays, Port Jackson sharks coming around me here, moonlighters, weed whiting. It's pretty unique tank, and everything here can actually be found around Melbourne and Port Bay as
Fantastic.
well.
So these are some local species.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. But it's not just these guys. You dive in a lot of different tanks. Do you also dive with the big sharks and the big rays?
I sure do. We jump in our Oceanarium, our 2.2 millilitre tank. That has got a variety of sharks. Our biggest one being Mitchell. He's a grey nose shark, about 3 metres long.
3 metres long. Fantastic.
He's the big boy.
That must be impressive.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an exciting job, and I do love it. So,
fantastic. Yeah. Now, folks, I could be asking Jessie questions all day, but this is really your opportunity to ask Jessie, our lead diver, some questions. I do have a phone here with me, and I can see some questions coming in. So do send all your questions. I'll pick some out. I'll ask Jessie, and hopefully we can have a good chat. Are you the Santa and elf that I visit for Christmas? Well, maybe. All right. Who have we got some questions for coming up now? We've got one really great question here from Owen. Who's this little guy coming around? They said, who's that splashing beside
you? Coming up now is one of our fiddler rays. Getting a bit of a wave while we're in the tank.
Hey, sweetie. One of my particular favourite animals here, little fiddler ray. I often go see these guys down at Jawbone Sanctuary in Williamstown. Great question here from Diana. Now, we've got a lot of sharks with a lot of different animals. Do the sharks eat the other sharks? And what do we give them to eat? How do we stop the sharks predating on everything around them?
So what we do is, essentially we do try to pick animals that do live amongst each other out in the wild and recreate the natural environment, but we also keep them well fed, so they're not going to go out of their way wasting energy to hunt food when we serve it up for them. Yeah.
Fantastic. So another great question from Sally, or Jade actually. Sally's writing for Jade, who's 5. Hi Jade, how you doing? How do the sharks know not to eat us? I mean, it's not just these sharks here. We do dive with some of the big sharks. How do they know not to eat us? Why don't they see us as food?
Well, we are by far their natural food source. We're actually a lot bigger than the food that they do eat.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, they're not going to come up to us. And as I mentioned before, we're feeding them well. We're treating them with respect. And really, we're swimming alongside them. Yeah.
Fantastic. So another great question. Is it scary? I know you said that these guys don't really see us as food, but when you're in that big tank with these big animals, these big stingrays, big sharks, is it scary?
Some people can find it quite scary. You'll be surprised though if you jump in that tank. We do diving, we do an STX experience, so people that aren't divers or people that are instructors even, they do get the opportunity to jump in and dive with the sharks, and it is actually very peaceful once you do get under there.
Very peaceful, fantastic. That was a question from Amy, thank you. Charlotte wants to know, what is our biggest shark? I think we touched on this because you do get to dive with our big sharks. What's our biggest shark?
Yeah, so that was Mitchell again. He's a grey nose shark and roughly about 3 metres long.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Do we have any names? Claire, who's 6, hi Claire. Do we have names for all these little animals? In particular, we've got these stingrays down here. Do they all have names?
Well, we do have names for our Port Jacksons. One's coming up here, if you can see this. So we've got Bob, we've got, where are we going now? We got Splits, Kinky somewhere around here.
None of them are coming up right when you need them, but that's
no, of course
here
not.
we go. Yeah, folks, they do all have different shapes, sizes, even personalities. So it can be, once you've been here for a while, you can actually tell the difference between all these animals. So they do get their own names, and do they have different personalities?
Oh yes, you will definitely find different sharks, especially different personalities. Probably the biggest ones are our flatback sea turtles, which we do, again, we dive in the exhibits with them, and they have a lot of personality.
Okay, fantastic. Question from Sophie, who's 5. Do sharks sleep?
They do sleep.
They do sleep.
Yeah. So, say this, there are sharks that, they can sit down on the ground and stop swimming. There's a lot of people that think that sharks need to continuously swim. But no, we do have a lot of sharks that you will see, cruising on the bottom, lounging around.
We actually get a lot of questions about our sharks sleeping, I should say. We've got the tawny nurse sharks who, down in the big tank, will just sit on the bottom. But Mitchell, who we were speaking about, our bigger shark, we get a lot of questions on this feed here about our bigger shark. We mentioned him before, about 3 meters long. He'll often sleep with his eyes open. Well, he doesn't have any eyelids, so he cruises along very, very slowly. He's sort of half awake. That's how they sleep. And I reckon he sleeps about 85% of the time I see him.
Yeah.
Possibly even more.
He's a bit lazy sometimes.
Lazy animal. Okay, that's all right. A good question. Harper is asking, what do we feed the sharks?
Okay, so we do try to recreate what they do get in the natural environment and feed them a different variety of fish. So there is Australian salmon, there's mullet.
Hey, we've got one of our Port Jackson sharks getting in the action here.
What else we got? We've got jack mackerel.
So you really try and feed a diversity of fish to keep our animals happy and engaged?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like us. We don't want to eat the same thing day in, day out. So.
Fantastic. And Charlie and Darcy want to know this. Hi, Charlie and Darcy. A really good question. Do you have a favourite? Which is your favourite animal in the entire aquarium? And that's a very good question because we've got a lot of animals here.
I think it would be Leo, our leopard shark.
Oh yes, he's a common favourite. I think everyone's favourite.
Yeah, he's like a big dog, really. Once you're in the tank, he does come up. He's, as funny as it is, he's a bit of an affectionate shark.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's just lovely to swim alongside him.
An affectionate shark, folks. It's absolutely true. We have an affectionate shark. We've had a lot of questions about our sharks, and these are all fantastic, folks. We could talk about sharks. Well, we can pretty much talk about it all day. But let's jump on to our rays here. Nico asked, how do stingrays get their stings? And you're swimming with you're standing with some rays here. Is that dangerous? We've got these little fiddler rays around here. Do they have a sting? Do we need to be cautious about these guys?
Well, these are definitely one that people need to keep cautious around going in the bay, and they do, kind of submerge themselves in the sand, so you need to be careful where you're placing your feet. But in terms of when we are in here, we've been extra careful, moving nice and slow, so we don't have any problems.
Yeah, so we don't frighten them, we don't startle them. They're actually quite friendly, as I mentioned prior. I've actually swum with these guys in a lot of the bays around Melbourne, and if you're old enough, and potentially when we can go out again, I do recommend that, maybe even when it's a bit warmer too, it's a bit cold today, go out into our local bays. These are all your local species, and they're fantastic to go and have a bit of a scuba dive. Fantastic. So a great question from Jessica. How do you do your job? I mean, how did you get here? What did you do to get this amazing job that you can dive with these amazing animals all day? And what do you do daily?
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone has a different story, but I started as a diving instructor, which then moved me on to live in different parts around Australia, teaching. I then came down and started with our Shark Dive Extreme Experience, again, taking people into our oceaneering, diving with sharks. A few bits and pieces here and there, but eventually landed the role as the lead diver.
Fantastic. So I'm not sure if you're listening there, folks, or the kids listening, you can go diving with those big sharks when you're a bit older.
Yeah, so...
Jesse, he might still be here, might take you along. Fantastic. We got lots of questions. Keep up these questions, folks. There's so many really awesome questions about sharks. Good question. We're going to go jump back to sharks because sharks are cool. Why not? Alana, who's 9. Hi, Alana. Are all sharks dangerous? We've sort of touched on this, but you are standing with some sharks. Are all sharks dangerous?
Oh, look, it's really important that when we do look at sharks that we're simply seeing them for what they are. They're a beautiful creature, and we need to treat them all with respect. Okay? They do have means to defend themselves, but I mean, they're not going to go out of their way to injure us, same as we shouldn't be doing for them.
Fantastic. I think that's a really good answer. Just if we respect them, there's a lot of animals out there that aren't really harmful to humans, but if we respect them, we treat them with a bit of kindness, a bit of space, none of them really see us as food or want to attack us, including these little guys down here. That's fantastic. Great questions coming up. Can you please pick up a shark? No, I don't think we can do that today. They do live under the water, but great question from Jamison. If they breathe water, we breathe air. If we pick them up, they're not going to be very happy. I think that goes back to being a bit respectful of them, but really great question. Good question about Mitchell, our grey shark. We were talking about him before. He's the one who's a bit lazy. How old is Mitchell?
I mean, he's been with us since we opened.
Yeah.
So that's 20 years ago. And before that, I think he was almost mature as well. So, be over 30, probably over 30 years old.
I think about 30 is a good, I'm not exactly sure. Very good question. Stumping us, the shark experts. I think he's about 30, maybe slightly over, but very good question. If we don't know the answers, that's tricky. I love it. Okay, lots more great questions. Oh, so many questions coming in. Good question, because I get this almost every day. Working here at the Bay of Rays, we've got our fiddler rays. You might recognise these animals and call them banjo sharks. They're the same thing. They're not sharks. Fiddler rays, banjo sharks, same thing. Why do they sometimes stick their heads out of the water? We see that a lot. Why are they sticking their heads out?
It could be a bit of a, we do have a lot of customers that we do walk around here. Different behaviours coming up. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure why some of them do it and some of them don't.
I think this is just a friendly animal, folks. They like to have a bit of a squiz at everyone walking around. We definitely hands off with them, but they want to come up and just be a little bit friendly, which is quite nice when you get to go in there with them. We've got quite a few sharks here circling you. Do they look hungry there?
I think they might be, yeah.
That's all right. That's okay. Lots of great questions, folks. A lot of questions about how long do these sharks live for?
It varies drastically between different species, so it is hard to say.
I think that's the thing, folks, that there are a lot of different sharks. There are different shapes, different sizes, different behaviours, different biologies. They live and do things all very diversely. So it's a very, very, really great question. But do look up some of the sharks. I know one of these Port Jackson sharks, I reckon they live for about 15 years. But that's a great question. Do some more research. Folks, I think we might need to wrap up soon. So, Jessie, thank you very much. We might jump back to Lisa now. But thank you for all the questions. They're pretty brilliant.
Here he goes.
Now, before we head off, I do have to ask Erin, what do you think of my hat?
Oh, I'm jealous.
I know.
That's a question for you all, folks. Who's got the better hat? Can we stand side by side?
All right.
Who has the better hat? Come down
so
here.
I think,
well, I don't know. Jessie, what do you think? Who's got the better hat?
I'm all about the sharks.
You're all about the sharks,
Oh well, anyone else out there like mine? Put it in the comments.
We will see your comments. Who's got the better hat? My name's Aaron, I've got the shark hat. We've got Lisa up here with the trout hat. Who's got this one? This one. Thanks very much, folks.
Now remember as well, we do have another live coming up for the Sunshine Coast. So if you want to follow them on Facebook, you'll see that they're about to go live soon as well. And if you're in Melbourne, it's actually 2 p.m. our time. So check on into that one, guys, and we'll see you here at Melbourne Sea Life Aquarium very soon. See ya!